Whenever I Googled you, it would go, Maori activist. I mean, I wonder what you would put under your name.
Not activists, you know, that's a Pākehā term for rubbish.
Radical Maori activists planning the overthrow of the New Zealand government.
Why should we be told by the Europeans how to live on our land?
Mum was involved in Ngā Tamatoas from 1970-71, from the earliest of days. Very much involved in politics of Māori.
The police and the Navy pushing back Ngā Tamatoa from the edge of the treaty grounds. The whole group of us went up to the treaty grounds around lunchtime. Paul Kōtara lowered the Navy's white ensign and attempted to set fire to it with a copy of the Communist Party newspaper's People's Voice, on which was printed the articles of the treaty. Everyone else was bailed up by the hurriedly assembled sailors and police with a rope guarding Tame Iti, who stayed behind until the authorities got sick of his intervention, and he was grabbed and marched to the gate of the treaty grounds and picked up and bodily thrown out the gate.
Te tau iwa te kai māwaru, ko Helen Clark tērā I whakawhiua e tite whai ki runga tonu I tēnei marae. I noho atari ana tūria, hei tuara mō Helen Clark I au warā. Engari I tēnei wā ko tari ana tūria, me tana pāti te tākete.
The saddest thing is that I go to marae all over New Zealand. I have never known, ever, anybody to behave in the way that she and her daughter behaved at Te Tī.
E hara I te mahi tau hou e nei momo mahi tūkino I ngā manuhiri ka eke ki runga I Te Tī.
I think it was verbal abuse, yelling and swearing, actual swear words, and trying to drown out speakers at the hui.
Closing of the Maori Health Unit at Carrington Hospital on the grounds that the unit was being used by a small group of Maori radicals as a political platform.
There have been allegations of attempted rapes, theft, misappropriation of hospital vehicles and equipment, and the coordinator of the unit, Titawhai Harawira, and 4 other staff are to stand trial in February on charges of assault and threatening to kill a patient.
Line to this day. And this day is the beginning of Maori Language Week, and also the beginning of a Crown Māori partnership. What does that mean for the Crown? To honour he whakaputanga me te treaty Waitangi that our tupuna signed. And oh man, I am so proud to be sitting here today after years of struggle and shouting and carrying on.
Now, as all of you will know, we already as a Crown have roughly 7,000 commitments that we have made to iwi around the country as a result of the treaty negotiation and settlement process. We need now to make sure that we honour those commitments on an ongoing basis as the Crown. But that's not all. We also need to make sure that we are true to that partnership in the way that we operate as a government.
Her today, and I honour her, for the role she played. I never accepted the commentary of Titawhai was just, in some trite way, holding the hand of Prime Ministers. She was doing far more than that, and I miss her today, and I honour her, for the role she played, because we had fierce debates. I mean, strong women stood up to each other. But I understood what she was doing, and she understood what I needed to do. I treasure her. Her legacy will be, I hope, that continued balance will be available to us all.
And I think it's therefore appropriate that I be here as Prime Minister to remember her on behalf of the people of New Zealand. Titawhai was a very strong woman with a strong heart, with integrity, with passion, and first and foremost, a caring mother and a caring nan. The former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Jacinda Ardern, has asked me to share a few words on her behalf, To the Harawira whānau, I'm sorry I could not be there today, but my aroha is with all of you. I remember standing awaiting the call to begin my first work on Te Te Whare Runanga. As Prime Minister, I felt comforted. I knew Te Te Whai had my hand, and I knew that it would be all right. I hoped that what I had done in the past 12 months would have been good enough, because if I knew that if she didn't think so, I would soon be told. Te Te Whai gave me a unique perspective. I will miss holding her hand, I will miss being beside her, and I will miss our chats. But I will never forget her.
Yes, oh yes, oh yes. I gotta raise this one. Apparently going to Waitangi was important this year. Let me tell you something. I would never have believed that some political leader would walk onto the Lower Marae at Waitangi with someone with a conviction and a jail sentence for the brutalisation of children. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'll tell you what the National Party tough love policy on crime is about. I got a photograph of it. That's real tough love. From a criminal facing serious charges. That's a tough love policy. I bet all the gangsters are trembling in their knock knees at the moment. You know, what that story tells me is, alongside TVNZ, is that not only does crime pay, the taxpayer's now paying for it. And the man who wants to be the alternative Prime Minister thinks it's okay because it's politically correct. You get taken onto the marae by a person convicted in 1988 and a jail sentence for the brutalisation and the organised brutalisation of children, and then you go on to the marae as well and start hongying up and making friends because the media think it's politically correct with someone facing some very, very serious charges.
Programming.
Reprogramming. And failing that, send the boys down and give them a fucking good hide.
No thanks. We don't speak language here, thank you.